10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to the Power Hour, or as I would like to say since the last time when the Power Hour was on, hello everyone, I'm back from Jamaica. I had a good time, but it is drag racing time. It's time to talk about 300 mile an hour. It's time to talk about championships. It is time to break it all down, rewind it all, look forward to what's about to happen, what's about to go down in California, and eat some burgers and some French fries and just yakking it up. And there's nobody in this whole drag racing adventure that I would like to yak it up with other than my brother from another mother, aka the Amish guru, the Amish Steve Wonder, the guy behind the glasses, the Monday morning racer. Where are you at, Monday morning racer? Let's go. Come on. See, there you go. Lee, man, what's going on? It's been a while.
I gotta do that before the people start diving into the comment section. You're on the wrong side. Not that it really matters. But what side are you on, Sam? Are you on
I was actually
Team Force?
I was on the wrong
Team
side.
Ashley.
I was on the wrong side a couple of days ago. In Jamaica, they drive on the wrong side of the road.
Oh, okay.
But,
okay.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different. Yeah, man. A little different. Lee, I'm having technical difficulties. Do you remember this chair that I keep telling you about? I haven't sat in it in a while.
Problems again, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. It's because I haven't sat here in a while. But Lee,
right.
You asked me a question.
You don't have any more phone books.
The phone books wouldn't help it. I think it's because I've been gaining so much weight from all the food that I ate when I was in Jamaica, and now that I can eat again because I'm not feeling sick, like I can eat again. Yeah. So I've been eating a lot.
Does Jamaica have a drag strip? Did you happen to find that out?
Yeah, it's called their roads. Everywhere you go is a drag strip for those people. Like, no, let's talk about this. Lee, no lie. I literally was in like, they call them taxis, but they're vans, right? And I watched a dog run down the middle of the road, like just trotting down the middle of the road. And he saw a car and the dog just kind of like moved over and they got right back in the middle of the lane. I'm like, what is going on? But yeah, dude, everybody, it doesn't matter if you're in a semi, it doesn't matter if you're in a car, if you're on a skateboard or a scooter, everyone is like beelining it to wherever they have to go. So I don't know if Jamaica really has a drag strip. I know they have bobsled.
Yes.
I'm not, Lee, you know my feelings. You know where I stand. We talked about this after the show when Darren was on with us the last time. I'm not apologizing to anyone. I have who I think is going to win the championship. I've heard a lot of people try and count people out and try to say, well, if this person does this, then this person can win. Everyone's picking their favorites, right? So you guys go ahead in the comments, pick your favorites. I picked my favorite already this year, and I stuck with it all year. I picked my favorite, and I stuck with it all this year. And guess what happened? The championship was won. So there, I called it. I said it. I said in Vegas, if you bet on this color and if you bet on this team, it happened. I might look back this way and say that color that's on the back of my hat, but I'm just saying, I said it. I called it at the beginning of the year. And I want to take a second to those people that are sitting in their mom's basement or calling someone a bum or doing whatever. I'm just going to let you know whatever you have to do to try and motivate someone to be a better person, because I sent this person that I'm talking about this link tonight. So if you want to motivate someone and you want to call them a bum or you want to say they have nothing going in their life or they can't do anything, guess what? Thanks for being their encouragement. And if you don't believe it, look at what happened with Erica Enders this year. Someone robbed, I don't want to say robbed her of a championship. Someone took a championship away from her that was right there last year. She took that and turned it into positive energy. She took someone saying that she's washed up and she's old and she can't do it and that, she's a no one anymore and all this, and she's living off of her, her dad's money and her dad's dream and her sister's riding her coattail, and turned it into a championship. She can put 5 hands up and has 5 rings on them. So guess what? Call me what you want, say whatever you want to say about me. But if Erica's going to do it and she's going to make herself, someone that is a GOAT, thank you for calling me a bum because I want to be a bum if it's gonna make me a goat. So there's my rant for today.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, we gotta have rants every now and then. It makes sense.
Yep.
You gotta have it. So
You just gotta take the negative and turn it into positive.
that's right. So you mentioned there, and again, congratulations to Erica Enders. Had her on briefly last week with the show. Got to talk to her a little bit while she was there, SEMA in Las Vegas. There are still championships up for grabs, though. Most notably, Funny Car, Top Fuel. More than likely, Matt Smith is going to be the Pro Stock Motorcycle champion. Granted, it is not done with. There is an outside chance that a Joey Gladstone could step up and nab that championship. It certainly is possible.
What would that mean? I've had this question on my brain. What would that mean if Joey does just step in or something goes wrong? I don't like talking about it because I don't want to say I'm jinxed anyone, but I am superstitious about like race day stuff and what you do and different techniques. But what could that look like? What does that look like to you if it happens that way?
Well, I think either way, it is good for the sport and it's good for Pro Stock Motorcycle. If Matt Smith does go on to win the championship, which is of a high probability that he will, you arguably crown the greatest Pro Stock Motorcycle rider of this era, and he arguably is one of the greatest of all time in that class and for drag racing as well. So a Smith doing well once again within drag racing. Imagine that. And if Joey Gladstone wins, if Joey Gladstone wins, it's a situation of we've got this young blood, this great character, this exciting individual holding up the trophy at the end of the year that will celebrate, in a great way and fashion. And I think it will be a win that fans will definitely rally around. It would be a popular championship. And I think, again, more likely Matt's going to win it. And if at the end of the day, Joey has not won the championship, they show that they are now a championship caliber team, and championships are in his future for himself and that team. I'm sure of that. So I think either way for that class, it looks good out of those two coming out on top.
Okay. Do we, and this is maybe a question for our pit insider too, because I've got some questions for him. Because like it's just the scenarios that are all around this championship. Do we continue with the 1.5? Do we take 1.5 away? Do we insert 1.5 maybe at the beginning of the countdown? Do we switch that, look? Because we look at, the situation that happened where some people called it participation, awards, where people were entered into the countdown, even though points-wise they weren't in it. So do we give 1.5 maybe at the beginning? Or do we switch how 1.5 are done? Like, what's your feeling and vibe on that?
Well, I believe I've been consistent, whether it's my own show or this show, that 1.5, I feel, should just be Indy. There's been a long-standing history that Indy has had bonus points of some nature. I'm fine with it at Indy. I would rather not see it at Pomona, and I know Dave W. is in the comments section watching right now. He keeps up with the points very, very closely, and he might be able to attest that even if we didn't have 1.5 right now, you probably wouldn't see much difference at all going into these final races. You'd have similar scenarios possibly, even if there wasn't a 1.5 situation. So are we getting a battle? Are we getting extra people within a battle? Maybe so. But again, it's a situation that, I put it this way, let's say there weren't extra points for qualifying, it might even be more interesting, and maybe 1.5 were just for eliminations, because like in Top Fuel, we're going to be watching points. We're going to be watching points in Funny Car. Who's able to rack up those points through those rounds of qualifying going into Elimination Day, very well we could see things flop go into round one of eliminations, especially for Top Fuel. Granted, I think we all expect that Brittany Force is going to go out there with Grubnick tuning and they're going to smash and be number one. That doesn't mean that Justin Ashley and Mike Green and Tommy DeLago don't have a car that's capable of doing that as well. They can, and I'm sure they're going to keep pace with Brittany, if not surprise, with being low ET a round or two in qualifying. But I'm fine with there not being any points and a half at the last race. Points and a half at Indy, sure, great.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at it, right? So mathematically right now, people, I heard someone, today speak of this and says, well, you can't count Steve Torrance out, right? Steve Torrance is sitting number 5. So this person didn't say anything about Mike Salinas or Antron Brown, who are sitting 3 and 4. So it's like, if you're going to mention, hey, you can't count, Steve Torrance or Austin Prock out. Austin Prock is sitting 126 points out. Steve Torrance, 87. Antron Brown, 78. Mike Salinas is 66. And Justin Ashley is only 7 points away. If you were going to say you can't count that person out or those two people, how do you skip over the other two? Like, I mean, especially with points and a half, and that's why I think the dynamic is so different is, like you mentioned, we're all going to be watching round by round for points. I don't think the idea is really going to be mostly on, okay, how is this person performing? I think everyone's going to be up there with, a pen pad and a pen and sitting there and writing, okay, this person got this many points. The people, I'm going to say, I'm even willing to go down to the top 7, really, with Josh Hart, too. He's 161 points out, but let's just say something happens. You know what I mean? Like, mathematically, I think everyone's going to be sitting down there with one of these, and they're going to be going, okay, this person got this many points. Okay, minus this, plus this. Are we really going to enjoy the race, or are we going to all be tuned in and so honed on what do the points say at this moment?
Well, I think there's going to be that moment of, and it's after qualifying, where do things look? I do have to disagree with DRC's statement that it's going to be just Brittany and Justin after qualifying. Yes, they'll be on top. Probably Brittany will be on top. Might even stretch the points lead that she's got slightly. But what I think is intriguing about Top Fuel is there are characters involved in the points, and why we have such a close matchup as it is due to people going out first round or second round, no matter who they've been. We haven't quite seen that when it comes to the people in Funny Car. In Funny Car, you see all of the players. Granted, Robert is definitely, I think, the strongest one coming in. He's the best candidate for the championship at the moment going in. You have a situation where Ron, Hagen, and Robert, they go deeper in the day than their counterparts. But in Top Fuel, everyone we're talking about, they've had early exits in the past. Now, in particular, I find it interesting, Justin Ashley. Every time Justin Ashley has won, the next race is a first-round loss. But after that first-round loss, he doesn't lose in the first round.
We're just going to stop right there. We're going to stop right there. You know how you talk about, like, sometimes a goalie has a shutout, or, hey, this kicker has missed a field goal in how many days? Right? It's just one of those things that help a brother out.
Again, I think it's going to be very interesting in Pomona, and I think everybody here watching, unless you are just such a super fan of one individual, Brittany, Justin, Steve, whoever it is, I'm hoping everything comes down, except for what's already decided. I hope everything comes down to the final round, and we see a heads-up matchup, and it's going to be hard to get that in some classes. We may very well get it in Top Fuel, depending on the ladder and everything. But yet, I think that's what we as drag racing fans hope for, that final round, one more win light, and that determines winner and the one who claims the championship.
Oh, I agree. And I think, like you mentioned there in Funny Car, though, I think no one's going to not look at Robert Height this weekend. But I think when you sit there, you're going to say, what did Caps do? What did Hagen do? Okay. Okay, where's Roberts? Robert's sitting here. Hey, that jump between Matt and Ron, what did Hagen do? What did Caps do? What did Hagen do? And then you also, I mean, like I said, you can't really, let's just say the world, I don't want to say turns into sandwich, like an In-N-Out burger or something, but let's just say John Force has an amazing day. What happened? You know what I mean? So it's one of these dynamics that this is, and I'm going to quote what you said earlier in the season, this is going to be one of the greatest seasons we've had in Top Fuel and in Funny Car, because the battle comes down. It's the battle royale. And I mean, what 3 guys in Funny Car, or what 4 guys at the top 4 in Funny Car could you not want to be up there? I mean, you have Robert Height, Ron Cap, Matt Hagen, and John Force. I mean, you have 4 heavy hitters duking it out. And, in Top Fuel, you have the same thing with, like I said, 7 people. So, oh God, what did Darren say?
Darren, 300 feet. Or maybe 330, but son, you know. Well, look, Sam, we have got to take a break. We've got to get
Darren knows
on.
Darren knows what's going to happen there. And if you want someone to call it, Darren, here, I'm going to well, first of all, happy birthday, Darren. Happy birthday, Darren. Yeah. So, Darren, I'm going to call it right now, because you don't like real In-N-Out burgers. You think, I don't know, you're not a true native of California, and I don't know what's wrong with you. You don't eat beef jerky. But, so I hope your girlfriend got you that for your birthday. But this is what's going to happen if Robert and John run. John's going to stage deep, and we all know the rest after that. So, yeah, let's take a break. Yes. We're going to bring the pit insider on, because he's probably going to talk about hamburgers and French fries and scrambled eggs or something.
No. I expect some Top Fuel information and blast from the past scenario. But if you definitely need a blast in your pumping situation for your high performance ride, that is Weldon High Performance. Thank you, Weldon High Performance, Weldon Pumps, for supporting CompetitionPlus.com and the Power Hour. You keep us pumped up. All right, Bob, you've been hard at work there in Southern California getting great content for CompetitionPlus.com, but what do you have in the scoop department?
Well, everybody's talking about the old name coming back to Top Fuel. And if you remember back in the 1990s, how about Maurice DuPont? Used to drive a Top Fuel dragster sponsored by MC Hammer. So, as I understand, he was off licensing today to get his license to come race in Pomona and to race this weekend in advance of a full tour next year. So there's another Top Fuel car we got coming. A 6-time world champion is also contemplating a comeback. Well, he's contemplating it. He is coming back. The only thing is he hasn't finalized a ride, but 6-time Pro Modified World Champion, the Mohawked one, Scotty Cannon, coming back.
Whoa.
And most likely his stomping grounds will be NHRA Pro Mod.
Ooh. Wow.
So here's another
like
one.
It.
Here's another one. You guys liking what I'm cooking up here? All right, here's another
Stirring
one.
the pot.
Yeah, but there's something in the pot. How about a single car Top Fuel team there's a very real chance they could add a funny car.
I know of two of those. There's two of those teams out there.
What are you talking about?
This one's got some teeth.
This one's got some teeth.
And
does it bite?
If there's two scenarios to one of them. One is either a well-known, well-loved funny car driver coming over to that team, or a blast from the past coming back. And it's not Gary Scelzi. So there you go.
If Gary Scelzi and Scotty Cannon came back in the same year, we would have had CERN put us back in some parallel universe of drag racing. That is what have happened.
That would be so ugly it'd make a train take a dirt road, man. I'm telling you.
If those two came back in the same year, we would have to I don't even
We'd have to
like
save
Pit
Ron.
Vipers are.
We'd have to
hide the women and children.
Yes.
No, it's not even that. Like Surge would be the new hottest energy drink again. Like Tang would be Surge would be the new energy drink, and Tang would be like Kool-Aid for the kids nowadays. Like what?
Tang.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to ask, since you mentioned Scotty, did you guys see the picture that Brian Loans posted of the football player?
Overhead, ugliest sunglasses known to man.
But do you think he even knows who officially made those famous?
That wide receiver? I'm assuming it was a wide receiver. Is that correct?
Like for me,
I wonder. No, does he know that Scotty Cannon? That's his.
That's what I'm saying. For me, when I saw that, I'm like, dude, and I posted that. I'm like, this kid does not have an idea of who Scotty Cannon is.
No, unfortunately not. But there's one other tidbit that I left out. Trying to figure out how I want to approach this, but I think the NHRA's possible courtship with Tulsa Raceway Park may be over.
Oh yeah.
Today they posted on their Facebook that they're not interested anymore. So, in other words, if this plays out the way it appeared to play out, Tulsa Raceway Park just told NHRA, bye, Felicia.
Well,
you
could have used another analogy. You could have used
that just says it right there.
Tulsa, made it clear they were searching, they were shopping, they were disgruntled over whatever. It was not, clear, but they did mention, hey, the frustrations they had over not getting a national event was an issue. And they were very transparent in the comment section, whoever was behind the Tulsa Raceway Park social media, that, hey, being an NHRA track, we're not getting that much, or at least they didn't think that they were getting that much. It was a very interesting social media thread 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, guys, one other thing come across the ticker, as we call it, the ticker. Y'all aren't old enough to know what a ticker was. So, and it is at the heart. Dale Pulte, the legendary War Eagle, coming back behind the wheel of a nostalgia funny car being campaigned by Bucky Austin. And there's a very good chance he could make a stop on a funny car chaos tour along the way.
Well, we would love to see it, and we frankly expect it. And who else coming back? Just everybody come back.
Everybody's coming back. I'd say I'm coming back, but I never left.
Right. Ricky's not retiring.
I will tell you what is making a big comeback, and that's going to be Legends of Series. We've got them lined up for days. I have been shooting episode after episode, including an incredible episode coming up with Mike Thermos, the godfather of nitrous oxide. I told him in the interview, I said, I don't think you get near as much credit for your NHRA Pro Stock Championships. And then he looked at me like, that's not even funny. Because, he runs the NOS, NHRA Pro Stock 1990s, but Anyway, Kenny Youngblood, the most iconic artist in drag racing history, and the California Flash, Butch Leal.
Can't wait for that one. All of those are going to be good, but I cannot wait personally for the Butch Leal one. Butch Leal was such a fascinating character, and I felt for Butch. He always seemed to have such a great start, and then it tapered off, and here comes Glidden out of nowhere. It seemed like at times, especially in the mid-late '80s. And Butch, great character. Can't wait to hear from him in that one. That's gonna be cool.
Well, I think the most interesting part about that will be when the two touch on the subject of Glidden's crash at Atlanta. You know, Butch Leal was in the other lane, and evidently they had words after that.
Interesting.
But Butch was not happy. So I can tell you, just stay tuned for Legends of Series. You had some questions for me there, Sam. Did you forget them?
Oh no, you're going down memory lane right now, and I'm just enjoying it. Here, I do want you to speak on this before I ask a question. It says Brainerd lost their divisional race, so there's some unhappy people in the Midwest.
Who lost their race?
Brainerd.
Oh, where did it come? Brainerd.
Yeah. You know what? The thing that really, the division that has a lot of question marks is Division 7. Of course, you know, you're losing you're losing Phoenix, and I know Tucson was going to step up and do a points race, and even talked about doing a double points race, but then the NHRA wanted to charge them twice for doing a double points race, so they said, "No, we're good." So if you look, I believe there's only 2 or 3 locations for divisional events in Division 7.
You would think with all that land out there, I mean, you know, in that area, you would think that someone, somewhere, some millionaire that's sitting back in Phoenix or in some area could say, hey, let's build a racetrack here and let's try and move this and make this situation happen. But it just seems like from an outside in or a middle of the lane, you know, idea, it just seems like we are getting to that realm where we're shutting these places down. And I think the turn of it, maybe in the next couple of years, and I don't know, this is all speculation, is that we're going to see that shortened season that everyone's talking about. You know, that move, I think, with the shutdown of these kind of tracks and these facilities that are continuing to happen, does this kind of bottleneck us to say, okay, well, everyone's been talking about this shortened, you know, schedule. Now we might as well do it because also these facilities are either no longer a part of us or they're shut down.
You know, I can't help but think, and I don't know if this has been the way around you guys, but around where we live in Spartanburg, they've been building about 400 gazillion houses. I mean, they're like, you can't even, you could put your hand on one house and your feet on the other house. That's how close they are together. In fact, the land where Spartanburg Dragway, which was completely wooded area, they've cleared it off, getting ready to put tons of houses in there. And I can't help but think, with all this building of houses and all this, which I don't have a clue who all is going to fill these houses that they're building, that we can't get at least one drag strip built into there, one multi-purpose facility. And I don't know, it's got you scratching your head here.
It does. Bobby, anything else?
No, I think I pretty much let her rip, and hope you guys were entertained.
All right.
One more. I got the one question, Bobby. With NHRA announcing the best hamburger in the world, an In-N-Out burger is going to be a part of drag racing, is it only fair that when we go to Pomona from now on, that we see the guys at the starting line and all the NHRA workers wearing the In-N-Out outfit as a part of the tribute to In-N-Out burger being in drag racing? Bring back the white shirts and the white pants like we used to see back on ESPN when I just drew a blank. Help me, Lee. What is his name? Oh my gosh, he does the Ricky Smith impersonation. Oh my gosh, how did I just draw a blank? Yeah. Remember when we were talking to him and he said guys used to wear the all white and it looked professional back on the ESPN days? Can we make drag racing great again and have ESPN reflashes with Pomona and In-N-Out?
Well, I think we still have to realize that Camping World's still paying the freight here for the whole deal. But I wouldn't mind seeing them wear the In-N-Out hats. But I got to ask you one thing. When did drag racing start becoming bad that it had to be good again, be made good again? I think drag racing's always been bitching.
It's been, I think, now, and this is and I just say make drag racing great again, because I think in the last 3 years, we've taken a swing when everyone said drag racing was dead, when everyone said, oh, this class is going to be gone, pro stock was going to be gone, Top Fuel was taking a dip. Everyone had their insights, but I think in the last, I'm going to say for sure 2 years, but in the last 3 years, we've seen this upward trajectory. And I mean, we're starting to see more. We're starting to intro, football games. We're introing NASCAR. We are being noticed. So if we're not making it great right now, then, I mean, I can't wait for the next 4 years.
Make drag racing greater. Again. Make drag racing greater. But I understand what you're saying. I got your point. I think that even when Top Fuel or Funny Car wasn't carrying the freight like they should have, we had races like Donald Longsteel that was carrying it. Pro Mod was kicking ass. The backwoods tracks. There was always, when one was down, there was another one up. So that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean it was right, doesn't mean it was wrong, but I just think drag racing, ever since I was 12 years old, and you guys were like negative 18, drag racing's awesome.
Negative 18 sounds painful.
As Ford had the slogan for a while, it's the going thing. Drag racing certainly is. And also the going thing right now is Bobby Bennett. We're going to let him go so we can move on in the show. Take care, Bobby.
All right, man. See ya. That's great.
All right, very quickly, Ramsey Wars. Yes, State Capital Raceway will have another Funny Car Chaos event in 2023. For the information on the schedule that is out, it's very simple. Go to Funny Car Chaos on the website or the Facebook page for Funny Car Chaos, and you can see that information. But we will be back in 2023. Sam, let's take a break. And right after the break, we're going to chat with a champion this year as well, 2022 A-Gas champion of the Southeast Gassers Association, Leslie Horn, the driver of the Chick Magnet A-Gasser. Right after this word from Holly. Why? Because we're going to talk nostalgia stuff, and this is their Retro Bright.
Classic car owners, make your headlights over twice as bright with Holley Retro Bright LED headlights. A plug-in replacement for those dim halogen seal beams, Retro Bright maintains that classic look and lasts 6 times longer. Stay safe and click the link below to learn more.
Leslie Horn, welcome.
What's up, Lee? What's up? I mean, I just want to be like you when I grow up, man. I mean, I was feeling it, and I just had to get the glasses and the hat, and then I realized the only thing is, I'm a couple feet taller and a whole lot better looking, so I'm just going to take it off and just go back to myself. So here we go.
Yeah. Hey, Leslie, remember,
he broke the internet.
Are not nostalgia whatsoever. We don't need you breaking any Quain Stott rules, okay? Gotta stick with the program here.
I thought that's what rules was made for.
Yes. So you survived the teardown, right? No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I survived that several times, but it's okay.
Well, good to have.
I don't think anyone else has had an intro like that.
No. Look, Leslie's good about when I have Southeast guys on my show. He comes in the chats and rads on them. No, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I needed a beard, but I just couldn't find nothing. I don't have nothing in my whole aerial here that's got that much hair on it. So I just couldn't come up with a beard for you. And then if I did have one, I don't know that I could get one just to hang on the bottom of my face like that. So anyway, looks great though. Suits you fine.
It does. It does. Hey, John Force knows me.
He don't know me.
All right, so 2022 Sega A-Gas World Champion. I mean, you always have to ask, how does it feel? What does it mean? But for you, I want to switch the question, is because probably a million people have asked you, how does it feel to be a championship? Or how does it feel to win a championship? But what was that moment where you locked in and said, you know what? This is mine. When was that moment for you?
Sam, it's really all the way up almost to the last race because anything can happen. Last year I was right there in the hunt all the way to the end. I went into the final race 2 rounds ahead, and I actually come out and lost to Gabriel. So you just don't never know. I went into this one. It was pretty well sewed up when we went to the finals at Shadyside this past weekend. I was 25 points ahead or 5 rounds ahead, however you want to look at it. And so all I really had to do was qualify, and that pretty well locked me in. But yeah, it's always a tough battle, and all the guys in A-Gas are very, very tough, and they make it hard on everybody. And you just don't never know. It's all in who leaves, who gets the jump, and that's usually who wins. That's how close a lot of these guys are.
Well, I'm not going to spoil too many questions of my own. Eventually, I'll have you on my Between the Slicks, and we'll have a championship talk and Sega chat. I do want to know, though, going into Shadyside, you said, hey, very close to being sewed up, almost done. You just had to qualify pretty much. But it seems like Gabriel Burrow has got that place figured out over other places. Any thoughts of like, oh, wow, you definitely got to watch out with Gabe still being out there?
Well, you got to watch out for not just Gabe, but all of them. All of them's like that. Gabe does go there. That is our local track. Mine too. Gabe probably lives, I don't know, 25 minutes away. I'm probably 30 minutes away. We do a lot of testing there. Gabe's always fast. Gabe puts in a lot of effort like everybody else does too. But he does do a very good job there. And Gabe is always fast, And like I say, though, Lee, all of the darn A-Gas are fast. I mean, Sunday, we got rained out. I couldn't believe it, the crowd, it still turned out, even got rained out. I'm also thankful for that. They come out and just, showed their support for us. But some of the racers had went home Saturday night because it did rain all night Saturday night, racing Sunday morning. And then we went down, we done the first round of qualifying. The first round of eliminations on Sunday. And we had to run a lot of singles because a lot of people went home. But when we got to the second round, I looked out through there, and those 8 cars that was left, all 8 of those cars has been, in the finals, semifinals, and just top running cars. So all of them was tough that was there. It was, and I'm glad we got it in, glad we got it finished. But to answer your question, Gabe's always tough everywhere he goes. He puts in the effort, he puts in the work. He's got a good team behind him. But so does about every other one in the top there in A-Gas does too.
So when you look at, your competitors and you look at everything, you said, it goes down to that last moment. And I mean, it seems like you guys all are a very tight knit group of guys, and everyone's willing to help each other. But on race day, does that differ, or are you guys still all that lax group that, gets along and likes each other?
I think we all pretty much like each other until we get to the burnout box, and then 5 seconds later, we're back liking each other again. That's the way I look at it. Every one of the guys in A-Gas, and I mean, that goes in every class, everybody there at Sega, everybody always willing to lend a hand. I mean, I tell you another thing too, if you come to a Sega event and you go home hungry, that's your own fault, because everybody wants to feed you and everybody treats you like family. The fans get up close and personal with us, and I love the kids. I love for the kids to come over and talk to us and stuff, and they get to sit in the cars, and that just don't happen at all of these events, that you go to and stuff. And I think that's what sets us apart from a lot of the other racing organizations. And there ain't too many of us that stuck up. Some of us are, like me. I can't never talk. I'm a real shy person.
All right, so Jim Fox has got a question. Says, how do you see the ET change for next year? Is there room to go faster? And I know you were talking about possibly getting the record, but the air wasn't quite there at Shady Side. So what about elapsed time records and going faster in the class?
Definitely, I predict that they're definitely going to be quicker next year. They are quick. I mean, the numbers, I'll just go ahead and say it. You're talking about running mid 520s on 10-inch tire, 4-speed, naturally aspirated. I mean, straight axle, that's getting on with it pretty good. So, but yeah, there is some room there for improvement. And yes, Ben did get the record a couple of races ago. He took it away from me. I was able to hold it for about a year there, but he got it back, and I was wanting to get it back at Shady Side, but the air just wasn't there, and then Ben ended up taking me out there in the third round, so just didn't get the opportunity to do it. But I had Old Faithful back in my car. I know you knew about mid-season, Lee. I done an engine change, and we tried to make it work, but it was a whole lot lighter combination, different gear, different transmission, different rear end, everything, and it was really kicking us pretty good. So we went back to Old Faithful to finish out the rest of the season is what we've done. So we've got the same combination we had in there at the first year. When we went to Shady Side, which was a dominant combination, it was, it was strong at the first year at Shady Side, and it was strong everywhere we took it. So we just went back to the Old Faithful and finished out the season.
And, as a racer, you talk about doing those mid-season engine swaps and, trying to get back out there and not knowing what's going to happen or what you really changed or all that. I mean, that time and that process when you're doing stuff like that, walk someone through what it's like, mid-season, going out and trying something new for someone that isn't, familiar with doing that.
It's difficult, Sam. We was at a point to where I'd had several passes on this engine. I had been working on a new engine Gene Fulton does my engine. He'd been working on an engine, him and Stacy, for about a year, and they finally got it done. And you know how it is with all the part shortages and waiting on stuff. It took for a while to get everything done. So we just wanted to try it because, one, when I go to the races, I want to go knowing that I got my best and I'm going there, then I'm going to try to win. I don't try to go to the races to be the first one to go home, never. But I want to know that I took my best arsenal with me when I went, and I didn't leave it at home waiting on another day. So mid-season there, the Old Faithful engine, it had a lot of passes on the rods, and I thought it was time to just stick a set of rods in it, just freshen it up and just make sure it's good. It's been a real, real, real good engine. Gene and Stacy has done an excellent job keeping it going, not having a whole lot of catastrophic stuff that hadn't been able to be fixed. So, but to answer your question, it is difficult when you change up everything. And the biggest change was we went from an iron block to aluminum block, which was, over 100 pounds difference on the front of the car. So I went and done some testing at Greer and at Shady Side. And the car was absolutely wheelie and ever gear. I mean, third gear was talking 15 inches in the air in third gear. So it took us a little while to figure it out. We did get it a little better. We did get the car to go into the high fives with it. But then I decided to do a cam change with it, and we put the old engine back in, and then the cam change just didn't quite work out the way we wanted it to. So we'll have it in there at the first of the season, and I think that things is going to get a little faster. That's to answer Jim's questions. Yeah, I believe it'll be faster. I would love to be the first one that goes into the teens. I'd love to be the first one that goes into the high fours, but that's a long ways away.
So you're talking about long ways away for the high fours. Drag Racing Central asked this. In other forms of drag racing, we always see it go to the next level in performance, so to speak. So what's stopping the cars in Southeast Gassers from improving ET? So for everyone that's not familiar with what's happening in Southeast Gassers Association racing, why is it, though they're extremely quick for what they are, and I'll let you explain that, why do we not see them quicker compared to other drag cars?
Well, for one, we are naturally aspirated, no electronics. The only thing we've got is a line lock. We can have a 6AL box. 6AL, that's like a dinosaur. Straight axles. We have to run a 10.5-inch tire. We do have to run a 4-speed with a clutch. So there's a lot of stuff that kind of hold us back. And as far as it progressing, 3 years ago when I went to A-Gas, the record was right out of 50, so it's progressed quite a bit. It's progressed almost 3/10. So that's the biggest holdback, I think.
And I think right there, Lee, he answers this question too, of the mechanical fuel injection and everything too, of that learning curve. But my thing to you guys is when you're doing that, and like you said, you're 15 inches in the air in third gear, that brings back that old school, that's that gasser feel. When you look at, the old school stuff that was going on, that's what these cars were doing. So and as a drag racer, I understand that it's never been in third gear. I've only got two. And even when I had my C4, my wheels weren't in the air like that. So what is that ride like? Because I know launching before, and the front end standing up, and you're like, okay, where am I? Don't lift, hit second gear. And you don't want to lift.
Yeah, I don't like to lift at all. I just about have to be over the wall before I lift, or either in the side of somebody. But it's I think if I've got asphalt under me, I think I can drive it out of there. I don't care how messed up it is. And that, I know it's going to bite me one day, but I've been fortunate so far. The good Lord keeps riding with me on that. But that is, part of the show, the Southeast Gasser Association, it is a show. It is for spectators. But what's happened is it has become very, very competitive. It has turned into some very fast cars, and it is, very close racing. Like in C-Gas, I think two guys won all the events, just two individual guys. I think in it was only 3 different winners. So I'm not quite sure about B. So it is very competitive. And, high 520s, may not sound like too fast to some of these other guys that runs the ones where they sit back there like they're on a couch and just let go of a button and hold it straight. But I tell you, it's a big difference when you grab that steering wheel, grabbing that stick and hitting that clutch and trying to get it down through there on the 10-inch tire.
Right, because you all are in what I believe most, and at least should be considered, the most accurate reenacting pieces of historical drag racing in a Southeast Gassers Association legal car, whether that's from Superstock all the way up to A-Gas. And there was even a situation in A-Gas with the winner this past race at Shadyside, where he was disqualified for apparently clutching down the track, from what I understand. That's how strict the rules are. So could you break down to us, like, even the way in which y'all are regulated in driving these cars?
Yeah, the clutch is supposed to engage and break loose from the flywheel during each shift. And they do put cameras in the car, and they do monitor that. And evidently, I know when being left, I know his car was a little sideways and going towards Gabe. I'm not quite sure there what happened, but there was a gear grab or something there, and it didn't line up with the clutch being hit. So therefore, he come up and he told them, he said, guys, I don't think I hit the clutch in second gear. So therefore, he was disqualified. So that's kind of how that went. It was unfortunate, but it does happen.
That's tricky. Like, I'm just thinking of when my car had a clutch in it and you go to grab that. Yeah, no. I don't think I would make it well with that rule, Lee. That would be one of those ones that one would be difficult. I mean,
Sammy, you don't know how funny that is right now, but we'll just leave it at that.
I'm not trying to throw anybody in the bus or anything, but I remember. I'm going to take you back. I remember my Mustang when I first got it, 302 with a T5. I remember trying to stage the thing with all 3 pedals and then take my hand off when it was already in first gear, take my hand off, pull my e-brake so I can stomp on the gas so I wouldn't go anywhere, throw my e-brake and try and grab clutch and grab second. The 1-2 shift videos are horrible. That's why I went to an automatic. But I'm just saying, like, I'm sitting here trying to process getting squirrely and maybe trying to just flip the clutch pedal to bring that other, and if it doesn't fully, woo.
Yeah, and then and then you feel a little squirrely, and you hit the clutch pedal. It can squirrel things up a little bit more too. So, it is a trick, and that's something Southeast Gassers has done in the past years, and that's one of the rules for now, and that's just the way it is.
Lee, I commend them. Like I'm sitting here underneath my desk trying to no.
Yeah.
I just hold the trans brake, build boost, and let it ride. That's what I.
Well, I kind of do that too, but I hold the line lock and I just build power and just let it go. There ain't no boost to mine. It's just there.
Oh man,
it's all naturally aspirated. 2 660 center squirters on a big block, so there's nothing special about it. A 22-degree head on a big block, 477 cubic inch. I'm sorry, 480. I had to bore it one time to clean it up, so 480 cubic inch.
And I always used to tell myself I'm never gonna go to blowers. I don't want boost. I want to stay naturally aspirated. And then when I went to nitrous, I'm gonna stay a nitrous guy. Nitrous till I die. When you grudge race at this point, you can't really. I mean, there's no rules. There's no rules. So, so now I have to ask because I like it. The name of the car, Chick Magnet.
Chick Magnet. Chick Magnet came, I drove the Stud Muffin in 2019 to a championship. And so whenever I bought the 55, was trying to come up with a name, and I was thinking about calling it Super Stud, playing off of the Stud Muffin with the Superman emblem and all that stuff. And then I talked to Pat at Ram Clutch, and my daughter, we'd come up with a Chick Magnet. And Ram Clutch, when I talked to Pat, he says, man, you got to go with the Chick Magnet. He said, they got these little cool icons you can use with a chick and a magnet. And it just kind of stuck. And I wanted to do something, too, that the kids remember. I remember when I was 7 or 8 years old, I went to a dirt track race. And I don't go to dirt track races. I hadn't been in a long time. And there was a car there, the Flintstone Flyer, and I think it's still around. And I still remember that to this day because it had the Flintstones on it. So I tried to do something that the kids will remember, too. And it, and I do get a lot of the kids that come up and sit down and take pictures and ride the car. Then they like Snoopy too. I got Snoopy that rides with me. I don't know if y'all ever seen Snoopy or not, but he's been with me now for 3 years. Not Snoopy, Scooby. I said Snoopy, Scooby. I don't even know who's riding with me.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought that was a tan dog, not a white dog in the.
Yeah, you're right. But it's rough when you get old. I heard him telling you a while ago that y'all was minus 18, so y'all have been way over minus 18 before me. So it's rough to get old. I'm sitting here trying to look at this phone. I can't even see where it's at, so I can't tell if I'm looking at it or not. But just as long as my hair looks good and I'm pretty, that's all that really matters right now.
Well, that's 2 you don't got on 2 counts right there. So, Leslie, with everything you just said, and Queen's been on this show as well, talking about the similar matters of these are very challenging cars to drive. I mean, is it true that not just everybody in drag racing, even if they're at a technical higher level, could hop in one of these cars and be successful right away?
Yes, there's been several people that's came. Some people has been very, very good and done good, and some of them it was a real eye-opening experience. I mean, you can ask Quayne, world champion pro mod guy. He ate the wall up there Friday night. He about turned that little angle over. The little frog about got turned over. So they are a handful to drive. You really don't realize it till you dump that clutch. It looks real easy when you're sitting in the stands, and they look really slow. You think, man, that ain't fast. I got a buddy that's got a Mustang on 275. It runs in the high threes. But yeah. They are a handful, and you're talking about, no type of fancy steering, no rack and pinion, straight axle, old school wheels. We got to be old school everything. I mean, we do have, when it comes to safety, naturally, we got to have good center chunks. We got to have good drive shafts, and we got to have good G-force transmissions to take the power. If we didn't have that stuff, we wouldn't ever get a show put on because we'd be sitting there tore down all the time, broke down. So. But, yeah, they are a handful, and you talking about a handful jumping from C to A, it's a handful going to A, even though I think C might be a harder car to drive just because of the no cubic inches and the no stroke, no torque, So And, it's real crucial on a little engine. If you miss a shift, that it really pulls it down. So in that aspect, the C gas is really hard to drive. But as far as controlling and handling one, the A gas can be a monster sometimes. And it's took me a long time to even get to where I could get down through there. I thought I was going to come off the 2019 championship in C gas and jump in this A gas, and I was going to rotate the earth. I about did rotate the earth a few times up against the wall and everywhere else. So anyway, they are a handful.
Lee, do you want to take that short-tempered question?
All right, Sega, short-tempered 1930 Model A. Someone in the competition of Sega itself. What is the chance of you building a H gas car? Would that be short muffin at that point? Or
yeah, I don't know what you would.
Short muffin.
Cornbread
I'm
muffin.
done.
I don't know.
What would it be?
I don't know. A chicken muffin. I have no idea what that would be. The chances of me building an H gas car is I don't think you can be no slimmer of a chance. So
you just have to call that. I'm not that one mini bite.
Mini bite.
Yeah.
Mini bite.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I would come closer to doing a mini bike than I would that probably.
Yeah.
Actually, me and Gabe raced our mini bikes. I think it was Sunday morning. We lined
Sunday
them up.
Morning. Yeah.
Yeah. We dragged racing down through there. And
sadly, I didn't have the camera out.
Gabe dragged me again. He drove. Hey, I had him right there. We was right together to about the 60 foot, and then he took off on me. He pulled me a good 2 or 3 bike lengths. I told him it was because of that weight difference between them. So anyway, I don't know, but me and him weighs about the same. I like to pick on Gabe.
So it seems like Lee and yourself have a very good relationship, but I'm always looking for that opportunity to find something out about Lee or see if we can get Lee to do something silly. He's always willing to do that. And there seems to be a good chicken outfit because we're trying to get Lee in a bunch of costumes. What would it take? What would it take to have
and replace Scooby and go for a ride?
All right, that sounds like a winner to me. You just let me know. We'll make that happen, and I'm sure we get that approved through Quayne, and we'll try to do you a full pull too. We won't do one of them 1-2 gears.
Yes, and we gotta can the window come down? Does the window roll down?
No, well, you ain't gonna be able to fit through the window opening anyway to jump out. So no, it ain't gonna come down. So
I want feathers flying out, everything.
But no, yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll have to make a few adjustments on the car because what do you weigh now, Lee? 110 pounds. That car's gonna pull pretty hard to the right.
Yeah, 110 pounds and some multiplication.
Maybe I'll tell you what, Lee. What we'll do, we'll set the thing up completely neutral, and you get in one side, I get in the other, or maybe to go straight.
Go straight. Yeah. After that, you might be like, "Hey, he needs to ride with me every weekend."
Yeah, I'll be saying, "Who needs some bite to the right? Let's just put Lee in there."
Yes.
So with these cars, I mean, I have to ask now, suspension wise, some of these cars do get all twisted and jacked up when they do. So are you guys using well, I mean, if you can, are you guys using airbags to, keep one side hitting harder than the other? I mean, don't give us all the modern tricks, but what are some of the old school techniques that, people are using to keep, from the twist and the bite?
Airbag, man, you think I'm driving a Tesla? Man, what you talking about? Come on. No, man, these things are all they're ladder bar cars. I'm sitting here looking over at it. They're ladder bar cars. We don't have no 4 links. Like I say, they're straight axle. And also the other thing too, to go back to the guy asked about the progression, every one of these classes, they're a class because it is weight per cubic inch class. Like A gas is 6 pounds. B gas is 8 pounds per cubic inch. C gas is 10 pounds per cubic inch. Then you got super stock, which I'm not exactly sure what they are. So all of that stuff is what keeps these cars from progressing any faster. And then again, I mean, I don't know how much faster we can get with what we've got to work with, if that makes any sense. But as far as to keeping the car from going left and right, Sam, we do it with preload and bite and stagger and stuff like that. So I got Brian Harris Race Cars. He does a good job of that. We do have shocks. He do let us have adjustable shocks and stuff, which is a big help for us. And so that's the biggest thing. I really just let Brian worry about it. He'll come up, tell me, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. I say, you don't have to tell me nothing. You just put it in there, I'm going to drive it. I don't care what it does. So that's usually what we do, and I let him handle that part of it. We'll talk about it afterwards, but during the race, I just let him do his thing.
All right. Well,
don't kick him off yet. I got more questions.
You got more? We'll ask them.
Come on with them.
All right.
Because I'm searching chicken costumes right now.
Yeah.
I'm with this question I'm about to ask. You might need to buy another size. You said that when you go to a Southeast Gasser event, if you leave hungry, that's your own fault. So I have to ask, who are the top 3 cooks, or what are the top 3 pits you should go to if anyone stops in and visits? What are the top 3 pits you should go to, and why?
It's about all of them, Sam. No kidding. I mean, everybody there is really, people don't understand it until they come to the race and see how everybody is like family. It don't matter your walk of life or what you do for a living or whatever. You're all equal when you walk through that gate. Don't matter color, statue, whatever. And that's the one good thing. That's what drag racing does. There's several of them. I memean, like this weekend, I was up there and I was wanting to go get something hot to eat. Sunday morning, it was pouring rain. Well, Chase Howard, I called and I asked them if they want something. I was going to get in my truck and go get something. They said, "No, come up here to eat." Man, he had pancakes, bacon, eggs, and cooked it up for us. And I mean, that's one of my fellow competitors, in A-Gas. And man, he really fed me good. Him and his girlfriend, Bonnie, they done a excellent job there cooking and feeding us. And also Ricky Jones and his wife, the owners of Stud Muffin now, they always, him and Pat always takes care of us to make sure we got plenty of food to eat. The Longhorns, they do some jambalaya stuff sometimes, and I mean it's just wherever you want to go. Dean Jonas, I mean he gave us barbecue. I think it was Friday night. Had a big old part of barbecue, and we all got to eat. So, I mean it's really something to experience. If nobody has ever done it, just come and hang out a weekend, and you'll understand what the draw is. But anyway, that's my spiel there on that.
Cool. Well, Leslie, look, we got to move on.
We can't keep talking about this. I'm getting hungry. Can't keep talking.
I'm getting hungry. We got to move on. Justin Ashley, but I have found the suit.
Have you? Let me see it. That looks good. Hey,
I'm done.
But Lee, do they have that in just a little bit bigger size?
Yeah, they do. They do.
I'm a funny guy, ain't I? I'm a comedian. I should have been a comedian, shouldn't I?
Well, I would say next time I see you, we're going to have to shave something off, but there's nothing to shave.
I guarantee you. Listen, thank you guys. Thank you for everything y'all do. I appreciate it. Lee, I appreciate you coming to the track. Sam, you got to get to the track and see us sometimes too. But just appreciate everything that y'all do for, all forms of racing. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Leslie. Take care, man.
Thank you.
Sir. Bye.
All right. That was the 2022 A-Gas Southeast Gassers Association champion. And now we're going to switch gears, Sam, to a potential champion in 2022. Who's coming on, Sam?
Man, this dude's like a little brother that's bigger than me. He's got the smile that, he can change anyone's life when he smiles. He's deadly on the tree. He's a funny guy. He's the true stud muffin, as I would call him, of NHRA drag racing, and he's smiling right now. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my other brother from another mother, Mr. Justin Ashley.
Yo.
Wow. What is up, guys? That is, I've had a number of different introductions. That takes the cake. It has to. The stud muffin of drag racing.
Stud muffin.
I love that, guys.
How much would I have to pay to put that on your back wing of your car?
A lot. The conversation starts with a lot, and then we can go from there.
Bobby, make this happen. If I slap a sticker on there, would you get mad that just said Justin Ashley, the stud muffin?
Well, I think that, you may have to probably run it by Phillips Connect first before anything else. I think we could probably, as much as I love that, I think we could probably make a lot better use of that spot. So, but we'll work out. Look, we'll talk about it, Sammy. We'll talk about it.
We'll put it on the inside of the car. That way, no one has to see it.
It needs to be a patch,
make it all work.
like right here. You know, it needs to be a patch.
We make it. Look, everything's up for discussion, right?
Yeah, yeah, everything's up for
I like
discussion.
it. I like it. I like it.
So, Justin, what is the strategy going into Pomona? You've got the team. You're definitely a capable driver. Y'all can get the job done. It is out there. Is there anything else y'all are going to change or do exactly what y'all have been doing? Going to try to match, tit for tat in qualifying? What's the deal? What's going to happen?
Nothing. I'm not going to change a thing. Maybe I'll wear my lucky draws, but other than that, I think we'll keep everything the same. I think that's, honestly, guys, I think that's the right strategy. It's very easy to get caught up in everything and start to change what you're doing and get into the what ifs. Well, what if this happens or what if that happens? It's going to put us in a certain situation. And the truth is, when you look at it from a much broader perspective, we have a lot of gratitude just to be able to be here and be in this position. And I think that's the biggest mistake you can make, is to start to change things now and change what actually got you to this position. So all year long, our Phillips Connect team has been doing a great job. It's been a fun ride on and off the racetrack. Just very grateful to be in this position and work with the people that we work with. And look, man, it's going to be tough out there. It's been a tough field all year long. That part of it isn't going to change, but you're going to get everyone's A game. This is Pomona. For the people that are in contention for the championship, you're going to get their A game. For the people that are out there, they want to win the World Finals. It's a big, prestigious race, so you're going to get their A game too. So it'll be a good show for the fans.
Lee, I like it even more because he didn't say underwear. He said draw. Like, that's what I say. I don't say underwear. So the fact that the New York kid said that, all right.
And let the New York, dialect really flow, really linger on that draws. It really
the draw.
Yeah.
It was kind of like you got a little southern twang to it too. It was really nice.
On a northern style, because in the South we would say drawers. It'd be like a U instead of drawer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
the things we talk about on the Power Hour.
Yeah,
all right, Justin, I have to ask. You are very, time scheduled. You like to do everything. I don't want to call it superstitious because that's how kind of I am. But is there any things that maybe you're like, you know what, this happened, maybe I should do this, or you're not changing it, but you're like, okay, maybe I should eat a banana instead of an orange. Is there anything like that in the Justin Ashley world?
I mean, I think it's really just that it's not superstition as much as it is staying within the routine, right? It's about finding a routine and finding a groove that works best for you and works best for your team and works best for me personally as a driver. And, I think I've found a routine so far that's worked well for me. And, it's centered around not so much what happens over the weekend, but what leads up to the weekend and what that preparation looks like. And for me, that's, dietary, making sure I'm eating the right things and exercising and making sure I'm physically in the right shape and prepared to go out there and put my best foot forward. Now, I know there's a lot of different schools of thought on it. I'm sure that you could ask somebody and they could say they could have 10 hot dogs and hop in the car and be fine. And they might be right. Everyone's different. Everyone's body's different. But, I think it's important, and something that I learned from Antron Brown a long time ago is, you really got to treat your body the right way because you want to feel good. And when you feel good, you have more of a tendency or a better opportunity to put the odds in your favor and a better opportunity to drive good. And, aside from what happens at the racetrack, it's a lot of travel. This sport is a grind, and a lot goes into it. So you want to make sure that you're in good shape. And I think that's probably a big part of the physical routine is making sure that mentally, physically, you're going through your normal strategies, making sure that you're prepped for the race. So it's been a big preparation 2 weeks for me.
Lee, can I ask the second part of this question?
Go ahead. It's
a little insight. Justin, I think you're going to laugh at this. So I have to ask, on race day, when you go downstairs and you go into the lobby and you think about, I'm going to get something to eat, and these are just yes or no questions, is your first question to get a little drip in the morning?
To get a little, I don't, what is, I don't even know. Drip is
drip.
Drip is coffee. I've learned from my
drip
good
is
friend
coffee.
Rich Bailey in Oregon that drip is another term for coffee. Again, being from New York, I wasn't familiar with that. But I try and stay away from the caffeine. But man, I'm not shy when the race is over to stay away from that stuff. But yeah, drip coffee, a nice hot coffee in the morning is always a nice option.
Okay. So yes. So second question, and maybe your cousin, he would probably be a good person to ask. But do you demand a good walkout of a restaurant if they're taking too long to get you your breakfast?
So we were in Denver, getting ready to go to the track, and I'm very anal, probably to a fault, about making sure that I'm on time with everything and early. And I knew that there was going to be a lot of traffic going to the racetrack, so we went to a bunch of different places to eat in the morning. Plenty of time. We went to Denny's, and I love Denny's, but for whatever reason, the food was taking like way too long to come out. So Rich Bailey suggested that we stage a walkout, and I'm like sitting there. I know it sounds funny, but I'm already like backtracking and going through the timing in my head. I'm starting to sweat because I'm worried like I'm not going to be there on time. I got to mix the fuel. I got to be ready for the warm up. All for an egg white omelet at Denny's. But the things we do to eat, right? This is the memories that we make.
Sorry, Lee, I had to go down memory lane. Great memories with Justin Ashley there, but man, great times for a little drip. If you didn't know, then the kids nowadays say that drip is clothing when it's actually just some good coffee.
Okay, I'm learning.
Okay. Darrell Kraft wants to know: is Justin still active in real estate development? Still doing the flip flop thing?
It's actually a funny question. I'm actually here, and it's ironic that he asked because you see, I'm in the car. I'm actually out to dinner right now with some of the executive team and the executive leadership from Phillips Connect. And honestly, that's where my focus has shifted. I'm sure I'll get into more detail later in the year, but that's where my focus really has shifted, is to working, within the motorsports program and working on the race team and working directly with Phillips Connect on those side of things. So not so active in the real estate development market as I once was. As you guys know, that's what I did for a living for a long time. Loved it. It was a great experience, but look, this is what I love to do. I love to race, and I'm fortunate to have an opportunity to do that. And we as a team are very fortunate to have Phillips Connect. So I'm really enjoying working closely with them. So actually it's a great question, but not so much real estate development now as there once was. More of a focus on the race team and on Phillips Connect.
Well, it's good to see that you've got, you had so many B2B deals, and there still are B2B deals. And then you've got a partner in Phillips Connect. And I love seeing companies like a Phillips Connect, because drag racing for a long time at the highest level has had circular marketing, in that it is strictly automotive. And granted, Phillips Connect does deal with something that is on the road, but it's not directly connected back to the high performance market. It's connected to the over the road, the tractor trailer, the semis market. And it's good to see a brand that isn't directly connected to drag racing in drag racing. And it seems like thriving. They keep expanding, and they seem to enjoy the relationship. And they definitely got sold on it from Jim Epler and others that have been involved in the past. And it's good that you are keeping them sold on it with your performance and what you do behind the scenes. So keep up the good work, man.
Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that. It means a lot to us as a program. And like you said, it doesn't necessarily have to be automotive, right? Business is business, and that expands over numerous different industries. And what they do is they make technology, smart trailer technology, that goes on these trailers and these large fleets that you see traveling nationally. And, what they've been able to do is really use the motorsports platform effectively to be able to work with existing clients and be able to generate new business and really get their products out there. So it's been an enjoyable experience, something that we've enjoyed working on together. And, we're growing this thing together. And, it's where, 1 + 1 = 10. And that's what we love to do. It's a win-win all the way around. So, we're appreciative for that. We're appreciative for all that you guys do to cover our team and cover the sport. All that stuff adds up to a lot. So, just looking forward to hopefully finishing this season strong, man. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be record-breaking weather out there in Pomona. Make no mistake about it. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And you speak of, whether that's going to be phenomenal for you guys. It's the end of the year. But Justin, you've always been someone that, even, for me and probably for Lee also, that if you see us, you always have something, good to say, and you're always uplifting. So for some, I kind of started the show today with, a little rant. But for you, there's someone out there that may, be going through something, or that may have a lot on his plate like you do. What would your words be to encourage a younger kid, or someone that's trying to make it like you have, and that's out there doing the A to B and the B to B's and the A to Z deals? What would you tell them?
Yeah, it's a great question, Sammy, and I appreciate the platform to be able to touch on that. The first thing I would say is that they're not alone, right? We've all been there. We've all gone through it, no matter if it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. We've all been there, done that. But the good news is it's going to pass, right? Anything that's worth it, anything that has any kind of reward, generally comes with some difficulties, comes with some headaches, comes with some struggles along the way. So eventually things are going to pass. You're going to move past it. And look, we wouldn't know, I know it sounds corny, but we wouldn't know the beauty of sunshine if it didn't rain, right? And that's the truth. We all got to go through some difficult times to get to better times. So, everything passes. Everything's going to be okay. It always is. And if it's not okay yet, it just means it's not the end.
Well, speaking of better times, he's got to get back to dinner. So,
yep.
I do.
Tell everybody we said hi.
I will.
And what are you eating? Are you eating
Mexican
tacos?
food. I'm not eating. I'm eating. I have some rice with chicken and some guacamole and peppers and onions. It's good stuff, guys.
Yeah, that sounds very good. Oh yeah,
it's good. We're enjoying it, right? I'm working on the dad jokes too. I'm keeping some in my pocket for Pomona, so I always got to hold on to some good dad jokes.
There you go.
Just in case you want.
I'll text you a few.
Yeah, text me a few. I could always use some more. But look, I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. Thank you for having me on.
Yes.
And have a good rest of the show. And hopefully we can see you guys soon. Thank you for everything.
All right. Thank you, Justin Ashley. We'll allow you to go reconnect with the Phillip Connects people.
Well done. Talk to you guys soon.
What a stud muffin. I love that guy. That's his new name. I'm changing his name in my phone. Stud muffin. Stud muffin.
You're changing it in the phone. You changed it in the phone. It's gonna say Justin Stud Muffin Ashley. All right. So I found some other costumes, Sam. So we're gonna put it to
not Halloween. Halloween is not over. I leave the U.S.
So we're gonna put it to a vote. We're gonna put it to a vote. In the comment
okay.
section that you're watching. Okay, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. All right. So number one.
Here we've
already shown.
Okay.
Number one.
Number one we've shown. All right.
Right. Number 2.
There's a voter. Oh. Okay.
Okay. And the last one, number 3.
I think number 2 and number 3 are going to be better for the belly area.
You think?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think 2 might be the best one. This guy looks like we might have the same frame.
But see, But like, is your beard going to be tucked under?
Or is it going to
sit out?
It's got to add to the rooster effect and hang out.
Yeah. Okay, take that picture off.
All right, hang on. Okay, there we go.
What do you think? 1, 2, or 3?
Me?
Yeah.
I brought you back on. 1, 2, or 3? You
2. Number 2. Number 2.
2? All right, we got to go with 2 then.
I mean, it's the right colors. I mean, I dig it. I'm liking the yellow. I'm liking the red.
Lee, you know what else I think?
There.
Yeah, there you go.
You remember Toy Story when the guy finds Woody and he takes Woody away and they go to Al's toy store?
Yes.
That's what you're going to look like. You look like Al.
I think he can pull either one of them off. I think he's going to look wonderful in any of them. I'm just ready to see it, and I'm ready for him to go for a ride with me. With either one of them would be great.
Because you got to remember, the shades have got to be viewable.
Yes, that's right. I think the shades would go perfectly with the number 2. I really do, and the number 2 just being the number 2 in number 2 in general.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Leslie. Take care, man.
See you, buddy.
Sorry, look, Lee. You remember Al from? You remember that guy?
Yes.
Lee,
yes,
I swear that is official. If Al had full beard, you could be Al.
You got a lot darker hair than I do. A lot darker hair.
But you could be Al.
But my hair, I'm not balding. I have like good hair. I shouldn't even
Well,
hide
we
it with
never.
a hat.
That's what I'm saying. We never know. You always have a hat on.
I know. I have like great hair.
You know, I got told that at a racetrack. Sam, why do you always wear a hat? And then when I wear a hat forward, people like they kind of look at me, and I wear glasses at the track. I don't know. Just a Lee lookalike.
You're just not consistent with your look. Like you can't decide whether beard, no beard, you got scruff or no scruff, you clean shit. What are you doing?
So the scruff now is because work. This is what happened, Lee. So we were able to wear scruff at work, right? And then work all of a sudden goes, well, if you're on location, you have to shave because you could don a respirator. Okay? So I'm like, okay, now we have to shave. So I shaved, and then plus when I was in Jamaica and all that and whatnot, so I shaved. And being sick and dealing with all that stuff, I'm not going into detail, but I had shaved. Okay? So then it's November, and if anyone knows me, and I think I'm going to post a link soon, but I do the Movember. So this is all getting shaved off. And I just do Movember. So I did, like last year, my mustache's name was Pedro. I name him every year. This year, it's Lamont from like Sanford and Sons. So you'll see it better here. I'll post a picture of the progress, but I mean, Lamont. But it's all for like men's mental health and awareness and men's breast cancer, as that's something that I've dealt with and still currently am, and everything that's going on. But that's a show for another day. So that's why. Usually I rock the full beard, but now with work and then shave November, but you know, see, Daryl gets it. It's no shave November, but supposedly we have to don face mask, but we can't do it unless someone else is there. Just all this stuff. So I'm just gonna rock the mo.
Well, definitely I will be participating in No Shave November, and my beard, for the record, going back to my Amish roots, is named Jedediah.
Oh, so that is a thing.
I don't know. I'm just going off what you said.
Beard does keep the face warm during the
Dude,
winter.
I'm telling you, there is a difference. I have shoveled snow in the cold of New York without a beard and with a beard. There's a huge difference. Got to have the beard.
Oh, it's like at least a 3-degree temperature change, especially in the wind and everything like that.
Coming back in and icicles are hanging off, but your face is nice and toasty. It's like a homemade sweater for your face. It's awesome.
Yeah, I wonder what his would be like, because he just has a patch right here, so his whole face red, and then Justin's got a baby face because he's a stud muffin. So like,
Justin ain't shoveling snow no more. He's past that.
Try to keep it real, okay? All right, Lee, what is I call it the greatest hamburger in the world. I think In-N-Out is phenomenal, but what do you think about them, stepping into, they've been obviously a part of drag racing. What do you think about them stepping in and saying, no, we really want to crack at this?
Look, I think that is worth talking about. Once again, me and Darren, who is assistant senior editor for CompetitionPlus.com, talked about that leading off.
Wait, it's not me and Darren. It's Darren and I.
Okay, Darren and I. Okay, Darren and I. Darren and myself. Oh, see, I really threw a wrench in it now, didn't I? Well, there you go. So I think it is worth talking about again. I think it is a great pair once again for drag racing because, man, when you think In-N-Out and NHRA, you think of great partnerships. It's embedded, it's infused, it's imprinted on my mind. Dale Paldy, Over the Hill Gang on front of that funny car, winning at Pomona and getting the job done. I think of Melanie Troxel. I think of that family that has a drag racing history. It is Southern California. It just makes sense. And it's one of those situations where you almost have to ask, why didn't it happen sooner? And I'm glad we got it now, but like it could have been even sooner, should have been even sooner. I'm glad to see that In-N-Out is certainly involved. And I like your idea. Maybe it's not the Camping World officials. Obviously Camping World has bought those rights, but like the track officials, the Pomona, the security, like, yeah, all white with stripes, paper hat, even In-N-Out all the way.
Like I just you got to do something. And my thing is, like, for me, it goes further than that. Like, I remember the kid going to In-N-Out and sitting there, and yeah, you got the paper box, but you always looked for the stickers. They gave you that little card of stickers, and you peel it off. And the one year, I'd never forget it, they gave out little toy cards. It was an In-N-Out card. And I was like, I looked at my dad, and I never forget going to my uncle up in the LA area, and he goes, that's a drag car. And I looked at him like, what? I'm like, no, it's just a toy car, man. He's like, no, it's a drag car. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I remember it to this day. It was like a Thursday or a Friday. And then next thing I know, he took me to the drag strip. And that was my first experience of it. And as a little kid, it was like, man, hamburgers, In-N-Out French fry, the greasy cup of French fries, or as we call them in Southern California, the bottom of the bag fries, and you're reaching in there, grabbing, you're looking at this little toy car, and cars are going down. So for me, like you said, why hasn't it happened sooner? I know Alex Laughlin has made that pitch, like, In-N-Out, sponsor me, like, let's go, one race, give me a shot, like the fire suit, everything. If In-N-Out sees that at this point, do you think we could possibly get Alex Laughlin a one-ride deal with In-N-Out?
It could happen. I could see that. They typically don't dive into pro stock, though. They have traditionally sponsored Nitro, in particular Funny Car, and also Pro Mod. They don't dip into pro stock often. Granted, yeah, Alex drives it all. I get it. And he's.
But Alex isn't driving a pro. He's not driving a pro stock anymore.
But he's not right. But he's not on the entry list for this weekend. But the Winter Nationals, you never know what other deals they might activate. This might be a deal where they say, hey, we're taking naming rights. We are going to sponsor the finals. And since we're not going to be the sponsor of the Winter Nationals, which they may very well be, it hasn't been announced. I'm not sure on that contract. It still may be Lucas Oil along with the Harvest group for contractually a few more years. But maybe if they're not sponsoring the race as the title sponsor, maybe they will sponsor through the professional categories. That would be fascinating and very cool to see renditions from Top Fuel, Funny Car, Pro Stock, and Pro Stock Motorcycle. Sam, this was not widely announced because it didn't directly connect to NHRA drag racing. In-N-Out does plan to do more with the track, though. Next year, 2023, is apparently the 75th anniversary for In-N-Out, and they plan on October 23rd. That's not obviously the Winter Nationals. That's not obviously the finals, but on October 23rd, they're going to celebrate their 75th anniversary with a car show and even some drag racing there at the Fairplex drag strip. In-N-Out Burger drag strip at Pomona. So they do plan on utilizing that drag strip more than just 2 times a year. I think this relationship is great, especially with them desiring to do more and it not just sitting idle in between those 2 races.
No, I think that's great. So this poses another question, Lee. I know they bring the trailer out and, they set up the In-N-Out trailer with the burgers and everything, but do you think we'll see an In-N-Out concession stand?
I've seen the trailers in action. By the way, those are some beautiful trucking trailers. They are sweet. And I do hope that there will be a way to buy In-N-Out burgers and fries at the track. And I'm going to tell you why, Sam. I remember one year, this is during the heyday of McDonald's in drag racing. They were sponsoring Cruz. They were sponsoring Jim Yates. They were sponsoring Corey McClenathan. I mean, it seemed like everybody was being sponsored by McDonald's. I remember going to the Southern Nationals, and McDonald's had set up a full McDonald's restaurant in the Midway, minus actually brick and mortar and everything. But you could get everything on the menu from McDonald's at a drag race, the Southern Nationals. And it was wildly popular. And they never did it again. I don't understand why, but that was so cool to have McDonald's right there at the drag strip.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it. I'm basking in the glory right now. You're sitting there, and you're sitting on which I would call the south side of the south side, which you're back towards the nitro pit. But you're sitting there, and you're looking at the mountains as the sun's setting, and you got planes flying over your back, landing, right there off to your left-hand side. And you just got some nice, crispy, hot fries in your hand as you see, the likes of Robert, Matt Hagen, John Forrest, Brittany Ford, Justin Ashley, Antron Brown, Mike Salinas, Erica Enders. And you're sitting there, Matt Smith, Angie Smith, listening to Brian Loans, Alan Reinhart, and happy belated birthday to the beautiful Amanda Busick, talking over the Sunoco Vision. You got Brian Loans in the low zone, mixing up the ones and twos with In-N-Out and crispy fries and some extra animal style, burger. Does that just not sound like great drag racing, great, beautiful scenes, and the perfect place for really the Battle of Royale, the Excalibur of them all of events, which we are going to call the final.
It's a match made in drag racing heaven. It really is. It really is.
If now is not the time, when will it be? Drag racing is at the forefront. People are watching. I mean, you had Smoke. I called it. I said he was going to run a card this year. I got backed into a wall earlier. I got backed into the wall early episode of Power Hour. Frank Holly, but it happened.
You got slammed into the wall.
But you know what? It happened. People are talking about drag. I had people come up to me that are Tony Stewart fans, and they're like, "Hey, Sam, like that dude Tony Stewart." I'm like, "Yeah, I know who he is." "Yeah, man, he's in drag racing now." And I'm like, "Yes." Like, this is what we need. These are our moments, and we continue to make them happen. We're continuing to thrive. We're continuing to make people notice the sport that we love and everything that we are doing. And if you can't get behind it, if you can't get on board, I don't know what to tell you. Run into a wall a couple of times. Maybe you'll wake up on the right side of the bed. But drag racing, from Southeast Gassers to Nostalgia, to Donald Long, the No Prep Kings, the Street Outlaws, Funny
World
Car
Cup.
Chaos,
World Cup Challenge.
World Cup.
Comes some great drag racing there this past weekend.
Everybody is standing on their tippy toes to see what's going to happen next. And I think for all of you out there that watch this show, that enjoy this show, I mean, we got World Series of Pro Mod coming back. I mean, that was a big announcement last week. World Series of Pro Mod coming back.
$100,000.
Lee, I'm going to ask you this question because I know you asked it. Is it about the money or is it about the what?
That one, I think it is about the prestige because, West Buck Drag Illustrated already with that name, the World Series of Pro Mod, that already has a mystique and an aura around it. It doesn't have to be on the mountain for it to be that. I think they're going to put it in Florida, where all racing goes during the off season and the early parts of the season. And they're going to continue to build on that mystique. So I think it is about the prestige, but it is certainly nice that they are going to add in the money. Another factor that I think adds into prestige factor, Sam, is it is invitational.
I mean, I just like the invite list. Like, if it's cool to be invited, like it's always nice to say, "Hey, I'm gonna show up." But when you're invited to something, I mean, I'm just gonna steal it, just like Wes Buck would say, certified badasses only, CBAO. When you get invited to something, that means that you've done enough to get there. Right now, Lee, I'm on the uninvited list. I don't know about you. I mean, I haven't seen anything yet. My face hasn't popped up on the screen. I honestly think,
Well,
they
don't have
should do
pro
one.
mod.
You don't know what I got.
Well, even
And if you would have let me, go ahead. Even if I did what? Even if I did what, Lee? You saying I can't drive it?
Well, not that you can't, but there isn't a track record in which Drag Illustrated would invite thee upon.
You trying to tell me I can't DTBB?
Well, I'm certain. Oh, you know what? That would be interesting. What if they invite people who aren't currently in Pro Mod but have been in Pro Mod?
Bingo!
That would be interesting.
Ah, that's kind of weird that I said that, and then you put that twist to it, huh?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
For example, the guy who I had on my show last week, Chad Green, he's like, "Hey, I've got my Pro Mods ready to go. One of them is even set up for 8th Mile. Longtime nitrous Pro Mod racer. I think he deserves an invitation, even if he's been in the big bad funny car here lately."
All I gotta say is, Lee, I think media should be invited too.
You think media should be invited? Okay.
I mean, what is Drag Illustrated?
Well,
it's a media company,
magazine,
right?
It's a media company. It's a platform.
If that platform is going to invite, make it about the prestige. You said it's not about the money; it's all about the prestige.
Yeah. Sam, I want to keep talking about this one, but I want to ask you too. I want to go back to In-N-Out very quickly. What is your favorite theme over the years on cars? Which one stands out?
Like, are you saying In-N-Out themes, or are you
In-N-Out
like
themes on the cars? Like, which one? Is there any in particular? Like, here's Mark. That was a cool looking theme. Good looking Dodge Avenger body. Over the Hill gang here. Another over the hill gang one. I like the black. That's simple, but I like the black.
That's very different. That's what I was gonna say. They kept it very simple.
That's simple. I mean, it's got some age to it, but I like that. That's pretty cool. I think Melanie had one of the best ones too. Those palm trees.
Those palm trees are like those are like the golden arches of McDonald's. Like kids see the golden arches and they're like, "Ooh, McDonald's!"
Yeah.
Like,
by the way,
Eddie Murphy used to say.
That's a Chris Graves photo, who now does something called Funny Car Chaos.
Oh man, I wouldn't really imagine that. But you know what I mean? Like when you see those palm trees and that angled arrow, like that's like seeing the golden arches of McDonald's. That's like seeing the Colonel at KFC. Or the staple of Burger King is their stack of, burger smell that I don't know how they get away with it with the EPA, but it's out of Canada, so you can't really question it. And they can get away with anything up there. But, like that's Burger King's thing. I mean, the King, yes, but they all have that stack where you can smell the charred burgers on the grill. Like, so I don't know. I think Melanie did it, Now what?
With In-N-Out coming back into NHRA drag racing with a great stance, does Whataburger
no Burger King
step up?
Burger King or what? No. Well, we would be more lucky to see hot dog on a stick than McDonald's or Burger King or anybody of them come. You know what I mean? And who wouldn't love a refreshing lemonade with a foot-long corn dog, like hot dog on a stick, come back into drag racing? I mean, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we're more apt to see someone like that. And I don't even think hot dog on a stick is even around anymore.
Yeah. I definitely think McDonald's should have stayed in drag racing. They did a whole lot more winning there than they did in NASCAR. Oh.
We don't talk NASCAR, especially that. I'm still a little bitter about that. I think, you know what, Lee? I think it's time. You and we're going to have a sit down and just like uncensored, two media guys tell it all and just say how we really feel. Like a spitting chiclet, podcast or something like that, where just no bars hold.
What did you say?
Spitting chiclet? Well, you don't like hockey. I'm a hockey guy, okay? Spitting chiclet, call your teeth, spitting them out because you got into a fight. Barstool Sports.
Oh, okay.
Pink, they're sponsored
by
Pink.
One.
They're sponsored by Pink Whitney, the stuff that we're probably going to make you drink at PRI this year.
I am not freely accepting any drink from you.
It wasn't me. It was one of your love PDRA guys, John Montecalvo.
No. It was Rob Honeycutt.
It was Honeycutt?
Yeah.
Dude, at the point
You
where
don't
that
even
all
remember.
happened, I was on the dance floor. Where's Latrell? He's on the dance floor.
Yeah, you were on the dance floor. I got video somewhere.
Yeah, we don't need to play that.
No, I don't want to go find it.
See, Lee's always capturing those moments when a guy's having a good time and just trying to, end of the year, relaxing, had a stressful year. But his good friend was not recording him hanging out of his car.
I wasn't hanging out of my car. I did sleep in the car.
Which I don't understand why. I had a hotel room that was like 300 feet away from you.
You didn't bother telling me.
Well, I didn't know you were drunk. Sorry.
Well, there you go. I don't think you knew that you were drunk.
I did. I well knew, and I knew where my room was.
Okay. Great. Well, this is definitely.
And I knew where the pizza was. But that's the good thing about this. See, we're talking good food, and yes. But Lee, what are your predictions? I'm not going to tell you mine. I'm superstitious about that. You can't know.
Predictions on the win or championship?
Win. Let's go win.
Win. All right. Top Fuel, I think for the win, we are going to have a team that usually, in the past, regularly won at Pomona. I think we're going to see a resurgence. Doug Coletta does win before the end of the year in Top Fuel. Funny car. Robert Height will win while even completing his half-track burnout because they put enough fuel in the tank this time. I think for the win in Pro Stock Motorcycle, it will also be Matt Smith putting the cherry on top. And in Pro Stock, well, I've been saying it since Texas, she gonna win out. And that is the lady in red, Erica Enders.
Speaking of that, she just texted me and said thanks for the shout out. By the way, Double E. What a nice person. I think she's gonna win. If not, it's gonna be a close second on Troy. He's elite, just phenomenal. I see Matt winning and doing another burnout just to kind of go back to last year and putting the icing on the cake of the fine and saying, how do you like me now? I'm going to say we're going to have a little bit of an upset with that win. I'm going to pick a bold prediction, very bold, and I'm either going to say I like to see in Funny Car, who I would like to see a W is J.R. Todd. I think your final round there is going to be J.R. Todd, Ron Cap.
J.R. Todd needs a good day, or he's got some tweets that are going to be aging very poorly after the end if he doesn't do well.
And I'm not going to say Top Fuel. I'm superstitious.
You're superstitious? Okay. Well,
I'm superstitious.
Let's turn to the championship then.
No, I'm not saying that. That's why I asked you. I'm like Stevie Wonder. Even though you're the white Amish Stevie Wonder, I'm Stevie Wonder.
All right, so championships will be
DRC. No comments like that. That is not needed. So not needed. Because I get in trouble when I say it. So you can't say it. Come on. Where's the guy that's going to say something?
Top Fuel.
When I say it.
Justin Ashley will be the 2022 champion. Funny Car. Robert Height will be the 2022 champion. Matt Smith will be the 2022 champion in Pro Stock Motorcycle. And because of her dominating performance, we don't even have to do any deciding. Erica Enders is already the 2022 Camping World Champion in Pro Stock. Wow. What an impressive year.
There you go. Oh, Lee, you need to order your suit sooner. You have 30 days until you can wear it. Your chick suit. You're going to wear it at PRI and take pictures with the kids.
I don't know about that.
It doesn't matter. I just got word that the chick magnet will be at PRI. And it'll be in the booth.
DRC, that went horribly wrong, obviously.
So I'm getting word that you should wear that to PRI.
Well, I don't know.
Lee, you said you were going to do it.
But it's got to happen when I ride in the car.
Yeah, if you get there early enough, you can ride in when he drives the car in.
No, I don't want that. I mean, a ride. I want a ride. Okay. Yeah.
What's the difference between a ride and a ride?
A ride is like you just cruise into the hall of, PRI. A ride is there's some up in the air and some gear shifting and things of that nature. Yeah.
So then that means you have to be there on Sunday. Usually that's when the rides happen, when they're all going out, and then next thing you know, someone's on the lid.
Well, I know this much. Depending on the weather, I need to definitely have feathers on that suit.
Oh, I heard the chicken has to model on the hood at PRI and take it. You're seeing the same thing I'm seeing. Lee,
if I could
you're in control.
Get on the hood, I don't know if I can.
Stop. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to drink more Gatorade. Lee is about to make me have a coughing attack. Wow. You guys stay tuned because I'm going to try and get these pictures and leak these pictures of Lee getting on the hood and then taking the picture on the hood in the chicken suit there live in Indy, December, 8th through the 10th?
Yes, very close. Coming up, man. It's coming up.
So, Lee, I'm having a coughing attack. I need to take my meds. Feeling better. I'm on the mend. I'm feeling really good now. But what a great show. And I found out that Lee's going to be a chicken at PRI once again. I'm Slamming Sam. I'm Slamming Sam, and I'm signing out.
See y'all.
Competition Products, your source for hardcore engine parts for street, strip, and oval track. Our free catalog is packed with hundreds of product lines from the best-known manufacturers in the performance industry. Lowest prices guaranteed. Free shipping and handling on all orders over $149 in the continental U.S.
Need expert advice? Our knowledgeable staff is just a phone call away.
Competition Products, race parts sold by racers since 1970.